on Katie.
Welcome, YouTube people. We're about to go live on the radio in about 20 seconds. So just hold tight, and we'll get ready to start the show. What's up, you guys? Thanks for tuning in. You're listening to Hair of the Dog with Husky and Up Dog.
Hey, what's up, morning people? We got a pretty good show lined up today. Sleepy Bassett, unfortunately, is
sleepy.
He has prior engagements. He will not be on the show today. I think we're going to have a pretty good show. Yeah.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Let's see. We went and saw Shazam last night, which is contributing to my fatigue this morning.
Yeah, we left the theater at midnight.
Yeah, for some reason the school thought, hey, it would be a cool idea. Went and saw this movie at 9
o'clock. It was a good movie though. I didn't feel tired until it was over, but then I was like, oh my god, oh Lord, I'm exhausted.
The recent Star Wars, teaser trailer came out, and a lot of discussion on Twitter about that. A lot of stuff I wouldn't expect. We could talk about that. That's gonna be fun.
Will it though? Will it really be fun?
Yes, it will. It will. We'll talk a little. We can talk.
Sorry, little technical difficulties with the.
We can talk a little bit about the Game of Thrones stuff that's going to be coming out as well. So,
yeah. You want to?
Yeah. Before we jump into any of that, sorry, I'm.
Yeah, we're both
before we jump into any of that, let's jump into the weather and then verse of the day. So, I'm tired. All right, so it's today is 54 degrees Fahrenheit. It's much more chill than it is much more chilly than it was yesterday.
Has been wasn't is it?
It's 12 degrees Celsius for our German fans across the pond. Or thousands of German fans.
Millions.
I'm like Hasselhoff over there.
I forgot. I completely forgot about Hasselhoff until you said that. Thank you for reminding me that he exists.
Humidity is at 100% because it is raining outside.
The water is actually falling from the sky, so.
We got a northeasterly wind of 15 miles per hour. Yeah.
That's the weather. It's wet. It's kind of cold. I mean, that's spring as it goes from being really nice to just being wet. And
yeah.
I kind of wish it could just be nice all the time. But I'm not the weather king. That's not up to me.
Also, we're under a flash flood watch until 1 a.m. on Sunday. So.
Neato.
That's pretty cool. So.
That could explain why I'm up to my ankles in rainwater here in the studio.
Yes, it is flooding right here, right now.
Yes.
You can't see it on the YouTube Live because it's down there. But
if we suddenly stop on the YouTube Live, if we suddenly stop talking and just start shaking, it's probably because one of the live wires has electrified the water on the ground and we're being electrocuted. It's always cool. Anyway, let's look at the verse of the day. Before we do anything else.
Verse of the day.
Verse of the day.
Verse of the day is Romans chapter 3, verses 23 through 24. For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God and are justified by his grace as a gift through the redemption that is in Christ Jesus. That's a pretty good verse.
Yep.
And that's one of those verses that a lot of people have under their ball cap and stuff. So
definitely a good one to remember.
It's like the other John 3:16.
Nice.
So
yeah,
pretty good. So that's the rest of the day in the weather. As you can see, the weather is weathery outside. And the Bible is still the Bible. But is Shazam Shazam?
Is it though?
Find out in the next episode of Hair of the Dog. You guys, talk to you next week. I'm joking.
Shut it down. Burn the studio to the ground. We're done.
We're done here. I'm tired.
Nothing left. Yeah.
All right.
But,
yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. Guess what? Yeah, you said it best. Shazam is just fresh in our minds, so we might as well jump right into that. So,
what were your expectations going into Shazam?
I expected it to be better than Captain Marvel because that's what everyone was saying. So,
well, I mean, yeah, that's not hard to do.
Aside from that, I expected it to be like a really bad, or like a really okay-ish attempt at like trying to capture like Marvel charm, air quotes, with man, what are you looking at? It's,
like at random intervals, like the butt just goes up into the red when you're talking.
Let me turn down my.
Yeah, it's crazy because like it only happens when you're not looking at it, and then you'll turn and look at it, and nothing will happen because you stop talking. And I'm like,
whack. That's whack.
I feel like that guy from Looney Tunes who has the dancing frog, and it's like, no, we can dance, I swear. He never does when people are looking.
So that's what you were pointing at earlier?
Yeah, I was like, look, it's happening. And you're like, no, it's not, Logan. You're crazy.
You're Logan, what are you talking about?
My credibility has been destroyed. Anyway, I think I've seen so many superhero movies at this point. I try to just go in and be like, yeah, I have no expectations. This could be really good, or it could just be bad. This one was good, though, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was it was better than I thought it was going to be, I guess. Yeah, I'm kind of on the same boat. I'm like a superhero movie.
I feel like this.
I've seen so many.
This
genre needs to die.
This one actually felt like a real DC movie. You know what I mean? Like,
I thought they captured the story of Billy Batson exceptionally well and his situation, and they delivered. Even though he was like kind of a jerk kid, not like the idyllic, like gee, mister, like
golly, mister,
mister. He's not the idyllic, super innocent kid that I think he was originally in the comics,
right?
But he's kind of a kid of this current era, which works, and they were able to make that and then still make a story about a kid being a superhero and not being, like a sociopath or something like that, the superpowers.
Goodness gracious.
I was like, oh yeah, he's just an innocent kid with a small chip on his shoulder. So I thought it was pretty good.
I did like it felt like a new way of looking at Shazam without feeling like super edgy or super dark, which has kind of been the method of portraying these characters in this cinematic universe so far. I think this movie, Wonder Woman and Aquaman, are pretty good. Like, they all kind of, I feel like they could be in the same like continuity and not be horrible.
Right.
But I mean, like, when spoilers, if you haven't seen the movie, you should go check it out and like stop listening if you haven't seen it. But like, when Superman showed up at the end, I was like, oh my God, it's Superman. And not like, oh God, it's Superman. He's going to kill thousands. He's going to destroy the school and throw it in the sun or something.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty, I thought the movie was overall, I really enjoyed it. I thought they really did a good job of establishing lovable characters, which is something even though everybody thought Aquaman was really good, I thought that's something that Aquaman lacked in. It was really fun to watch. Aquaman was really fun to watch, but I would not write home about any of the characters.
No, Aquaman was like a spectacle. It's just a big, bombastic, crazy movie.
I still think about it in Aquaman where he's in the submarine and he does 2 slow-mo shots. Permission to come aboard. Dun, 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 dun. Like slow-mos. They walk slow-mo through steam.
Oh yeah, I remember that. It was pretty funny.
I'm like, this is Aquaman. He's cool.
No, he's not.
Promise.
He talks to fish. He's a fish talker. I liked Atlantis in that movie. Atlantis looked really cool. Like there's a squid or like there's an octopus who plays the bongos. That's amazing. I ain't seen that since Little Mermaid back in 1990 something. 7, I think, maybe. I don't know.
Kid, you're a squid. You're a kid. You're a squid. You're a kid. You're a squid.
Squid Kid.
Yeah.
Like Wonder Woman was also good, but the ending was bad. But this movie was pretty consistent all the way through.
The third act was pretty bad for Wonder Woman. I'd say like leading up to the third act, Wonder Woman was probably the best DC movie.
Yeah.
But this one was the best one all around. You know, there are some kind of things where like, and I get it. It works more because these guys are kids, and so like they would be like making immature jokes in the middle of in like situations that you shouldn't be doing that. It still took me out. I was like, like in the final act, they sometimes like cracked a joke or something. I'm like, you guys are fighting eldritch horrors, you children. This should be terrifying.
Yeah, like,
but like, I understand it was supposed to be like a funny movie, and like those are just small gripes. I don't like bathos though in general. Like, what is like a bathos is like when you make a joke and it in the really tense moment it just cuts the tension at the knees. So
I feel like certain characters maybe do that better than others, but like
not Captain America, Iron Man. Like he's a character that's designed around that, and
well, that's because like I
he's
guess
supposed to be sarcastic because that's a defense mechanism.
You get the feeling that that's a defense mechanism, and that his like he understands the situation, and like in his mind he's like working through how to get out of it.
He's a sarcastic genius. Like like I can imagine him making cracks while he tries to figure out. He's like, okay, how do I?
Oh no!
Like it's not something I want Batman to be saying. Like when he gets thrown around by Superman. Oh, that hurt or something. Oh, I forgot what he said.
Oh, my back. I'm old Batman.
He said something like I forgot. It was an edit by Joss Whedon in the Justice League movie, and I was like, why the Batman doesn't say that stuff? Stop. Like, don't make any of the other heroes brooding because we've got all the brooding.
Do you bleed?
We've got all the brooding that we need in Batman.
You will. There's too much brooding in that movie, I feel like. Batman v Superman.
That's because it bled over onto Superman, and Batman killed people.
Even Batman, like
like the Dark Knight Batman, like the one from the Dark Knight Returns.
The one he's supposed to be like in the.
He would be like, dude, you're going way too far with this. Like, you're a sociopath.
It's
like,
too much. Tone it down.
You're
please.
branding people, like having them executed in prison by their fellow like prisoners. Like, no,
it's nuts.
Messed up, dude. Stop it. Get some help.
Like that Batman really felt more like a crime boss, if anything else. Like he's controlling like criminals in prison and manipulating them to do stuff. That's not Batman. That's Badman. It's a copyright Updog original character. Badman. New Batman villain. In my rewrite Justice League or v Superman v Dawn of Justice coming soon. Never. Gosh, I think the next DC movie coming out is like the Joker, but that's supposed to be its own thing.
Yeah.
And then after that, we're getting another Wonder Woman set in the 80s. But I mean, I guess I'm more hopeful. I think the Joker is probably going to be, it's like its own thing. I think, and that movie's directed by, he's a pretty famous guy. Does a lot of like pulp fiction-y kind of thrillers and stuff. Let me look this up real quick.
I don't know. Shazam, I can't really say anything bad about the acting. I thought it was pretty good all around. Pretty believable story. I don't know. I don't know where the DCU is going to be going after this because Affleck's no longer Batman. Cavill's no longer Superman. Like you need to replace like your two biggest, like the actors for your two biggest properties. So
I don't know. Like,
maybe maybe they're gonna be calling it quits soon. Who knows?
I feel like the Batman and Superman from those movies, I don't really. I think they both did pretty good jobs, like as actors, but I think
The direction of the movie was not in the right way.
I think
Zack Snyder, and I know he went through some tough stuff with his family.
During Justice League, especially.
But, you know, I did not appreciate the way he was taking his vision of what the movie was, especially for Batman.
I think even no matter what the direction was supposed to go in, I feel like it was just too much for your second movie.
Yeah.
You know? And
I think they were trying to play catch up a little bit too hard. And I'm like, dude, you don't have to play catch up. You got all these good characters. People are gonna go see these movies.
Yeah. I mean, it's a movie about Batman and Superman in the same movie. You could do almost anything and people are gonna go see it. Just not what you did. That's the worst possible option. Remember the animated movie when I was a kid, like the Batman and Superman crossover movie? It was like the jumping point for the Justice League cartoon series. That was really good. But like, they didn't even have a Batman movie before this one. That just like,
Didn't that Batman Superman crossover, the world's finest cartoon?
Yeah,
that was amazing.
That was fantastic.
Remember when Batman just judo through Superman into a table?
He Superman
was like,
Superman just came in and like punched him or whatever, and he was like, "You're not very strong" or something like that. And Batman just like, it was like a tiny, it was like a little baggie with like a bit of kryptonite in it. And Superman's like, "Ugh," and he's just, "It doesn't take much, does it?" I was like,
The Joker has about 10 pounds of this, 10 pounds more of this.
It's fantastic.
Maybe consider that before getting in my way.
It's like he used his X-ray vision on him and like checked who he was, and it was like, "Oh, now I know who you are." And then late at night, like Superman was, Clark Kent's like he's laying like in his bed or whatever, and he just wakes up and he looks out the window, and Batman's watching him through binoculars. It was fantastic.
You peaked.
Such a good movie.
That was like that had like a brief like conflict. I don't know.
They didn't fight.
When I was a kid, when I was like younger, I was like, "Oh, Batman versus Superman, who win?" And now I'm like, I don't really care. Like, I think it'd be more compelling to have them work together. But they didn't even do that right in Justice League. It was awkward. They had Batman trying to make jokes.
Why was Superman?
Superman was like, "I thought you didn't." He's like, "Well, thanks for bringing back, even though you didn't like me," or something like that. It was like, and he was like, "I don't not like you." Batman was, and I was like, "That's dumb. Shut up. Get out of my."
It's not like I like you or anything, Superman Chan Baka. Jeez, I'd prefer that. I'd prefer like a hard comedy to what we got. I never actually went and saw Justice League. I'll admit it. I'm probably ever going to. I have no interest in this movie. But I don't think, like in a fight, I think most of the time Superman will beat Batman. But I would like if I'm going to have Superman in a show or a movie, I want Batman to be in it too. Just because, like on his own, Superman's pretty dumb. And Batman's cool, but he's even cooler when Superman's around. Because it's just a cool comparison between the two characters.
Yeah.
I actually think Superman's like a terrible character from a writing standpoint.
He's okay if you don't focus on him trying to fight stuff. If you focus on like the actual character of him, of like this godly man trying to fit in with humans and you know, the whole hope aspect, or you know, to make him hopelessly overpowered.
That's always an option. No, in the comics, like there's
a brief period where they had him like like depowered Superman a lot, and it was way too much. Like, and I was like, this isn't fun anymore. Like, I don't know. Superman All Star was a good comic, but
it was okay.
I hate you.
I liked Superman Red Sun. That was really good.
Never read that one.
Red Sun is probably one of my favorite comics. It's about Superman, which is weird because I don't really like Superman that much.
No, it was a really weird Superman comic, Kingdom Come.
Is that like it's almost like, it's kind of like Civil War kind of?
No, he ticks off this one guy and he keeps going and he kills Superman and he keeps going back in the past and killing past versions of Superman. So there's like an entire like space in the afterlife filled with Superman.
Sounds dumb.
Yeah, it is. I actually forgot completely what the actual over
what the plan was or what it was supposed to be. What they're supposed to be doing.
It might have been because I read it when I was young, but I was like, this is dumb. I stopped reading it and I went and read the newest Batman comic that my dad had. Or the Tarzan comics. Tarzan comics were cool.
Tarzan's cool. I like Tarzan.
Yeah. Speaking of comics, did you know that? Let me look up when this is going to happen. The Berserk manga is going to be returning April something.
Wow.
Let me look this up.
That's cool.
All right. Yeah, it'll be returning April 26th. Let's see what this post says. Yep. April 26th. So that'll be interesting. It'll be nice to have have that back. I know a lot of people
have been waiting for a long time.
Yeah. It's like I think you got like two, like Hunter x Hunter and then Berserk, which are like they seem constantly on hiatus.
Yeah. But I'm aware of Berserk. I saw a couple episodes of the old anime. Haven't read any of the manga. Heard it's like super brutal. It's probably like one of the best dark fantasy mangas out there. It like inspired Dark Souls and stuff.
Yeah.
It's the Dark Souls of manga.
Shut up.
I guess you could say Dark Souls is the Berserk of video games.
Oh, wow.
Whoa, chicken or the egg, huh? Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are excited for that. I'm not. I'm indifferent, as with most things, but it's cool. I'm glad people can.
I feel like the Berserk manga at this point is sort of like how the One Piece anime is to me, and like it's like way too far.
It's way too long.
For me to catch up.
Yeah,
I'm like, I can't. I'm not gonna catch up to this. We still have yet to watch the first episode of One Punch Man.
Season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been avoiding it, I think.
I'm probably gonna watch that today.
Cool. Have you seen the JoJo's yet?
No.
It's fine. I'm not really a fan of this part of JoJo's. As we've stated many times.
God, we have 45. We have like 35 minutes
on the show.
Get me out of here. I'm leaving.
Uh-oh, it's the Up Dog Power Hour coming at you live from the CBC campus. Nobody can stop me now. Barricaded myself in the studio.
This show is gonna be a masterpiece.
Masterpiece.
All right. Before we move on to other news, I think we're gonna show an ad and some music. So we'll be right back. Don't touch that Dial.
Don't do it.
Has your child swallowed your medicine, your laundry detergent, your nail polish remover? Call the Poison Helpline. Have you inhaled paint thinner, glue, pesticides? Call the Poison Helpline. Have a question about a dose, a fume, something your kid just drank? Call the Poison Helpline. Poisonings can happen at the home, on the job, or in the great outdoors. Call the Poison Helpline first for fast, free advice from medical professionals. Call 1-800-222-1222 anytime, anywhere. 1-800-222-1222. Save the number, save a life. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Chained onto me, my adolescent dreams. Pulling, crash me deep. All my body exposed, marked up by your shadows. Tighten up on the senses, no fairness is needed for pigs. Laughter's a hug, playful smiles, die gets wrong. Faith in sorrow, my sorrow is bound upon your flesh. To the light of your light, to reclaim what's rightfully I still dream of you. Will you be disappointed that I'm not who I used to be? Will you hold me tightly, chained onto me, my adolescent dreams, pulling, dragged me deep, all my body exposed, marked up by your shadows. Piece by piece the tables turn and turn again in this eternal game. Biscuits with clotted cream and milk tea, time to roll your D20. Gods nor demons ready to admit defeat. Eat up 100 teeth, they're not that much smarter than us. Laughter's a laugh, playful smiles, die gets wrong. Swallow your face to a cage, our place was blood and tears, and your piercing screams of music to celebrate. Infiltrate, penetrate, through a happy destroy, back to the days. Take the last of the kind to reclaim what's rightfully
Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. You're listening to The Hair of the Dog with Husky and Updog.
Hey, what's up, morning people? We're never doing that ever again.
Should do it longer next time.
No, I don't want to. That would be weird. Anyway.
I'm going to give you an ad and some music.
No.
Oh, man. You know Game of Thrones is coming out today?
Today? Wow. I watched the first season.
Something weird happened. I was like, looked at the date I looked at. I was like April 13th, and I looked up. And I was like, oh, It's out today.
That's today.
Game of Thrones is coming out today. No idea when. I should probably look that up.
Are you a fan of Game of Thrones?
I have watched Game of Thrones in the past.
Interesting.
I think it's a pretty good show. Obviously, it has some scary moments,
Oh my.
but nothing worse than what actually happened in the Middle Ages. So, I don't know. I thought it's interesting how it stopped happening later and later in the seasoning. I kind of told this to my dad how because they were like, oh, there's all this nudity and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, it's stupid, and nobody that has half a brain and is a modicum of maturity likes watching that stuff on their TV. That's when I watch a show with deep characters. But I did find it interesting how as things got progressively worse in the world, that kind of stuff stopped. The decadency and the what was hedonism kind of was curbed as things got progressively worse in the world.
People's interests changed.
Yeah.
Didn't have time to do stupid stuff.
It's like the world was lazy and hedonistic and just stuck in a rut before this winter came. I'm wondering if winter just comes just to push the world along into the next
era.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's an interesting idea because the king or the guy who's sitting on the guy who's sitting on the throne at the beginning of the show, he's really old and fat and he's very hedonistic. He doesn't.
He's stuck in the previous era too because that's what he keeps thinking about.
Yeah.
I remember he was he got that way because he was the queen that he wanted died.
Right.
In the war. So, yeah. I get returned for one last.
What will happen to Jon Snow?
What will happen?
What will happen to Jon Snow?
When is it airing, though?
Right now, this very moment. This is the final season of Game of Thrones, right here on the radio.
Yeah, anyway, it's going to be on HBO. If you have HBO now, you can watch it on that. But,
cool.
I guess there's going to be 6 episodes. Some of them are going to be over an hour long. So,
wow.
Oh, yeah, 8 Central. So, that's when it's going to be.
Neat.
It'll be interesting. A lot of cool stuff is going to happen, I think.
I've only seen the first season, and after that, I was just kind of meh.
No, it's not for everybody. I kind of had to, I binge watch the entire season. I will say season 7 was probably my least favorite because, before that, they had been establishing how hard it was for each of these characters to move across these this country.
Yeah.
And so you'd be okay, I'm going to this place. They'd be gone for 3 episodes, or you'd see 3 episodes of them in different spots on their way because it's a long distance. Mm-hmm. They don't have cars.
They don't have cars. Horses can't even travel super far.
It would convey this sense this journey was perilous and just ridiculous.
Does anyone die traveling around in the show or?
Maybe. It's hard to think about it. I know that the king died. Not the king, not the one guy who was another Snow. Or no, he was part of the Stark family. He got his hand. He died. That was a Red Wedding. They were trying to go back to Winterfell or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the names.
I don't either.
But they all got slaughtered on their way back because they ticked off this one guy.
Neato.
And then this one guy got killed by Stark's little sister. So, who is an assassin? He can wear faces. It's pretty cool. Spoilers.
I mean, the show's been out for years, literally years.
I think the I don't know. I can't remember. I just remember like always having this sense of like gravity. Like in season 7 they started like traveling back and forth really fast, and then like that ruined this sense of like that kind of like ruined the immersion of it. Like that this was like a real world, and that I don't know. I like it.
That would be like almost like
And it was because this last season they were writing without any reference from the book. So
yeah. I'm kind of thinking now in like terms of tabletop and like D&D especially. Like in the beginning, traveling is very important because it helps you build levels. Like going random encounters, getting from point A to point B is almost like most of the game. Just being attacked by goblins on the road and stuff. But once you get into higher levels, usually someone gets like an airship or like a boat or something, and you kind of travel. Like it kind of cuts out the small encounters in between, because by that time, like people kind of expect the bigger story moments.
yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe that was just their way of kind of trimming the fat on the story. Maybe the books are completely different.
Well, I would say it didn't work because I think I'm pretty sure I'm not alone in that thing, in that idea. It removed a sense of it made it feel a little bit more childish and less rooted in like the serious tone that the show had been trying to establish. So I don't know. I can understand why they were like really trying. I think they were really trying to hurry up and get to like the whole White Walker thing in the encounter with them. So
White Walkers.
All right. There is another. Let's see.
Ooh, yes. It's I think it's just called Kingdom. Yeah.
When did this air? So first episode was January 25th, 2019. So the Kingdom. I was gonna say like there's another episode out.
Really?
No, not another episode out. Sorry, there's another series out that sort of covers the same whole zombie thing in an ancient-esque setting. That is Kingdom, which is apparently a South Korean television series, but it's about feudal. It's like about China. It takes place in like this ancient China. So, first episode aired 25th of January this year. Let me tell you, I think I turned you onto this show. I told you about it.
Yeah, you told me about it.
And it was I think we both really enjoyed it, and I really wish it had more episodes.
Yeah, it's like let me check real quick. But yeah, it's kind of the like just it's zombies in ancient China, which sounds like kind of like what, like at the beginning, but clearly the writers like went through a lot of effort and work to match the show with like the actual time period, and they really thought about how zombies would change the way things worked back then, and how the situation kind of gets worse and worse because of the way things are.
Right. I think it was an interesting setting for it, for like a zombie apocalypse or setting or whatever, a zombie story to take fold. And really it's interesting because the zombies, like they're a big part of the story, but they're not like the only part of the story, because it's you've got the zombies to deal with, but you also got the political intrigue of like them trying to find of like the difficulty with finding an heir and stuff. There's like a whole like struggle for like maintaining power in the royal palace, and it's interesting. And like the whole zombie thing actually derives from that moment. So
it's definitely like there's only 6 episodes out. Each one's about 40 minutes long. I feel like The Walking Dead, which I can't help like compare this show to, just because they're both have similar subject matter. Like this show, I think blew it, just blows that one away.
I'm much more enjoy this show.
Yeah, like even like the straight up, not even the political or story sides of the show, just like the zombie parts make a lot more sense to me.
Right.
You know, like in The Walking Dead, they'll get trapped in like a supermarket or whatever, and like zombies will just start like coming out of the walls and falling out of the ceilings. So why are they there? How do they get there? Why do these people die up there? That would make no sense at all.
What is happening? And the zombies in this one are fast too. Like,
yeah, they're sprinters.
I don't think like in the Walking Dead right now, like zombies are like, oh yeah, they're a threat, but they're not like the threat. Like they're more like something that like you just have to be careful around.
Yeah,
like it's like a bobcat or something.
Yeah, these ones definitely have kind of a mystical, supernatural thing going for them.
Yeah,
like when someone will be straight up like cold and dead, like their skin's all blackened from like frostbite or whatever, and then they'll just start like their joints will be all like creaking and popping and stuff, and they'll get up and they'll just sprint at you. Spooky, scary. Also, like one of the tropes of the zombie show is like somebody gets bitten and they don't tell anyone about it, and they slowly transform. They're like, oh no, my best friend, I gotta put him down now. If you get bitten by these things, it takes about 30 seconds and then you change.
Reminds me of World War Z a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. The guard never got his beef pancake. He
never did. Maybe he will
in the second season.
Maybe he will become a beef pancake. But also this show, like something I like in my zombie shows is some comedy, you know, and this one had some pretty funny scenes.
Like they're not like in full like when the situation is dire, they aren't joking, but like when they're all like alone and like discussing, like occasionally like they'll throw out some like funny stuff. It's weird because like you wouldn't expect like South Korean humor to be like resonate very well with like a normal audience, but like I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah. Even some of the zombie scenes had like kind of a sense of comedy to them. Like when some of the nobles are being chased around and stuff, there's some funny stuff going on. Like in the prison, I guess this was something they would do. Like there are these two prisoners who had like big wooden stocks.
I thought that scene was spooky, dude.
That was hilarious to me. like these two guys are kind of like attached, like chained together by like a big wooden plank with their heads stuck in it.
Yeah.
And one of them gets turned into a zombie, so he's chasing the other guy around, but he can't even reach him because he's got like a big wooden board. And the other guy's like, oh no, it's a zombie. That was hilarious to me. Whatever happened to that guy? Did he die?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I thought they got him out, but who knows?
I don't know.
I know he never got bit in that night, so.
Yeah, and it ends on a cliffhanger. And I was very, I don't know about you, but I was like, oh no.
Oh no. Yeah, they kind of challenged something that you kind of assumed in the series about the zombies, but we won't spoil that.
No, you have to go watch it.
Honestly, like the zombie thing is like, don't feel like it's like the main thing. I feel like it's a backdrop for the political stuff, which makes this show like so interesting. Yeah, it's so cool.
Like it's not.
There's a lot of twists and turns in this first season. And I'm like, I hope they can keep this kind of stuff up.
Yeah,
but yeah,
like it definitely feels like the situation is bad, but it's also more or less contained.
Yeah. It's for right now. It's not a. I mean, it's a disaster, but it's not one that's going to like.
It's not going to topple China.
Yeah. They've done their part to contain it for the most part.
I wonder if that was something they would like in the show right now. They had their great walls in China, like some really big walls that separate the provinces. And
Yeah.
they can seal those apparently. I wonder if that was something they would do if there was like a plague in one of the provinces. Like, would they just seal it off? And
Maybe.
I don't know. It's a good show though. I really like. I'm not gonna even try to say the names of these characters because I would butcher them terribly.
Yeah. I know there's like the Cho clan and like the head of the Cho clan.
I can say Cho. I
Yeah.
understand.
I thought the head of the Cho clan, he's a very interesting character, very good antagonist, and we find out that later his daughter is a lot more sly than we and probably him have been giving her credit.
I kind of saw that coming because the show kind of tells you that it's coming, but like I would like the present even if your twist is kind of obvious in your show, like the way you present it, if you do it in a really cool way, like it's still really good.
Yeah.
But like I was kind of confused by the leader of the Cho clan because like at first he seems very calculating and like everything he does is like carefully measured, but his son dies and he becomes very like antagonistic and like he goes and does stuff himself because he's very angry. And at first I was like, man, he must have really cared about his son, but then I was like, no, it's more of like now his son is dead, that means his bloodline is also dead because he's too old to have any more sons. So now like he's mad. He's mad because his bloodline has been destroyed. And I was like, okay,
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff about bloodlines and stuff in this show. A lot of overlying themes about that. It's interesting. I really like the show. I think this is gonna be a good show.
yeah.
I'm hoping to see more of it.
I think the young prince is his character development is very good.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just excellent compared to like some of the stuff we see on CW's The Walking Dead, where I don't even understand what's happening.
I don't
With
think
these
it's
characters.
CW. I think it's like
Is it the
AMC.
I know it was on CD, like they showed it on the CW for a little while.
Oh, well,
That's
yeah.
is cool, but like, yeah, I think it's done by AMC.
But what were you saying about it?
I was saying the characters are much better in this show, and it's only had like 6 episodes,
Yeah, I am enjoying the character.
with the exception of Negan. Negan is very cool.
Yeah, Negan's neat. He kind of blows the other people out of the water.
Really, like literally sometimes.
Like, I'm like, well, I remember I was watching a little bit of it around when Negan dropped in, and I was like, I don't really care anymore.
No.
Like, I was like, these characters are dumb. Like I don't know. Same thing that happened with Supernatural to less of a degree. I still think Walking Dead is a better show than Supernatural, but
Probably.
I don't know.
Maybe it's a smaller cast, like more concentrated, more time for different characters and not having to spread it out over so many.
And they let I like the Kingdom because like they let their actors act. Like a lot of times, like that's kind of what I love about about Asian filmmaking. A lot of times they can overdo it, but they let their characters just like be really emotive. Like I'm like, oh, so
Also, like,
I think that really helps like Cho because he's like really reserved and like really foreboding, and that kind of establishes him like really effectively as a villain. So
like you don't really see him like that scene where he's just kind of talking to himself, like, I'll find these people and I'll destroy them, and all of his advisors are like dead around him because he killed them off screen in a fit of rage, but you didn't see it. You have to imagine that. That was really cool.
yeah.
Also, like there are different production values, I feel like, for this show and The Walking Dead. Like The Walking Dead, they put a lot of effort into costumes and like special effects for the zombies. In this one, it's more like the action is really good. Like the cinematography is excellent on scenes that are
Yeah, everybody knows how to like kill people in this one.
It's
So like,
it's ancient China.
like obviously the peasants don't, but like the prince has been trained in swordplay, and so you get to see like some sword fights with him, and I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah,
Like,
like
like I get to see zombies and then sword fighting. It's great.
yeah.
Everything I could want.
There's the guy. There's the tiger soldier, the guy with the
yeah,
gun.
the tiger hunter.
That guy's cool.
It's pretty cool. Also, the reason why this all happened, but yeah.
Well, I mean, his decision.
I can understand why he made the decision. It's
Yeah.
gross, but
It was gross, but yeah. I think like this so far, like my favorite part of the show was them trying to get back to the fort, like the scene where they're all on the cart and the prince stays behind.
Mm.
He's like, no, I won't be like these people. I'm gonna say I won't leave someone to die if I can help them. And I was like, yeah. His character development, I can see it. It's happening on the screen. It's a good show.
It's a good show. I like it. Yeah, and it's just funny. Maybe I shouldn't say it's funny because I actually haven't seen many South Korean productions, but
Right.
I think it's cool that South Korea can blow out of the water most North American productions that are on
Yeah.
television. So
I mean,
I'm gonna be watching more South Korean stuff. I guess Mr. Smiley was right. I need to just watch South Korean crime dramas from now on.
a lot of people get hit by cars for some reason.
Oh my lord, dude! I saw this clip from like some movie that Brad Pitt was in. I guess it was like some dumb love story. Nobody thought it was a good movie. This guy said, I remember seeing this scene being shot outside my like apartment or something. And he's like, the director was like getting red in the face because like they had to do so many takes. Brad Pitt was just sitting in his chair with his head in the paper, shaking his head. Like nobody wanted to be there for that scene. Like the sun was setting, but like I guess like the scene is like these two guys after they decide to. There's like this girl and this guy being Brad Pitt. After they part ways, they're like both stop. One stops to look back, and the other's walking, and then so he starts walking. He continues walking. The other looks back at him, sees that he's walking, and so she continues. And they're like, but they do this about like 3 times. Until the last, like Brad Pitt's just like he looks back one last time, but he's in the middle of the street, and she's walking away, and she's past the corner, and he's like, "Oh man!" Dang. And then like you hear a car horn honk. He's like, "Whoa!" He almost gets hit. He's like, and then like you hear another one horn, it hits him, and he's like sent flying, and then he hits another car.
This sounds amazing.
And that's not the end of the movie, I guess. But like somebody edited it to where like it had that happen, and then it went to credits, and it was like the Ocean Man song. I was like, this is fantastic. I was like, I wish somebody would be brave enough to end a movie like that.
Main character's dead. It's over. Brad Pitt's gone.
30-minute movie.
Oh my god! Have you ever seen Ip Man? Ip Man.
Ip Man? Yeah.
Ip Man. Have you seen the third one?
Yeah, I've seen all 3.
Oh my god! Mike Tyson is in the movie.
I thought they were actually gonna fight, but they never did.
Yeah, they do.
They fought briefly, but it wasn't like decisive.
Yeah. This is Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
He's in the movie. He's like an American crime boss, and like.
But it's kind of cool.
It was cool. Like the thing I love about it though is like he speaks some English to like his kid and his wife, briefly in the movie. But like whenever he's speaking in Chinese, you can see his mouth moving in Chinese. But like I watched it in like an English dub, so he dubs over himself, and he still sounds like Mike Tyson. Like, who's that Ip Man? Who is he? Find him. Find me that Ip Man. And I'm like, oh my god.
But then they fight, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I forgot this guy can actually rip
I forgot
somebody in half."
He's the greatest. He's one of the like best. I forgot he's from Punch Out. I forgot he's an actual video game character come to life.
Oh my lord!
Mike Tyson, why are you in my movie? What are you doing? It's Mike Tyson.
The first one. The second and third one were good for like spectacle, I guess.
I think the first one was like really.
The first one was actually good though.
was actually a good movie, and then the second and third one are just like after you've seen the second one, it's like, oh well, now I have to see the third one.
Like they're really good spectacle. They're okay movies.
They're fine, yeah.
Like it's kind of ridiculous, but like you're like, yeah, this is cool. Kung Fu.
That's the guy who trained Bruce Lee, apparently. And I
Yeah.
keep waiting for Bruce Lee to show up. But apparently there's one more that isn't on Netflix yet.
Yeah,
I'm waiting to see.
we got 5 minutes left, and we haven't talked about Star Wars.
What does that tell you? What does that reveal about
Trailer
our
looks
character?
stupid,
It looks awful.
but of course, I went on Twitter, which you should never do.
I don't actually exist on social media.
Yeah, I know.
I'm a
You're a ghost. Oh my lord. But they're like, yeah. People are like, they're like, oh, you're jumping on this movie, like already. You just saw 30 seconds, and they're like, yeah, I like the what was the episode 8 called? The last one. The Force Awakens. I don't know. It was bad.
The Last Jedi?
Probably.
I don't know.
Anyways,
Yeah,
They're
The Last
like-
Jedi.
people were like, oh yeah, I liked it because it made all the angry nerds online argue and get mad. And I'm like, yeah, because it's a bad movie. Still, it doesn't you like watching you? So you like bad movies if they make people mad? They
Okay. I'm not actually a huge.
There's like a Melee player that was like this. I'm like, oh, so you must have liked Brawl.
Of course, it was a Melee player.
I was like, you must have liked
God.
Brawl because that made you mad and almost killed Melee.
Anyway, like I was never like a super big Star Wars fan. I grew up watching the prequel movies, and then I saw the original trilogy, and I was like, these original ones are probably better,
God,
but I like them all. They're okay. But then, like,
prequels were cool.
I am a fan of the prequels. I think the second one is garbage.
Yeah,
I kind of like the Phantom Menace isn't bad. It's
Uh,
bad. It's fun to watch.
I like the political. I actually like the political stuff in the Phantom Menace. I thought it was like, I was like, oh, I never thought the space has an economy. Wow, there's trade wars. They have a blockade. What? This actually happens in real history.
It's
Whoa!
better world building than the first three movies, definitely.
Like the first 3 movies, like, because like you're in the middle of intergalactic war, like, and that makes sense and stuff. There was one point in the second movie that I liked. That was like the Colosseum, not like when they're actually tied up, but when the Jedi show up.
Oh yeah,
That was cool.
Mace Windu kills
And when
Jango Fett.
And when the clones show up at the last second, I was like, oh, clones. That was cool. And then the rest of the movie was.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not a super huge fan of Star Wars. I don't know a lot of the lore or like
Yeah.
the extended universe stuff.
I don't know any of the extended universe stuff, so
But I am a fan of good movies. And these new Star Wars movies
are
are
not
not good movies. They're not. There's just
Like-
nothing, like a lot of stuff doesn't make any sense. The characters don't. The characters are
bad.
weird.
Sounds like a bad fan fiction.
Yeah, it really does. Like I feel
Mm.
like if I was going to sit down and write like 3 new Star Wars movies, first of all, I wouldn't have 3 separate directors and writers for each of these movies.
I just depart completely from like the Skywalker stuff.
Yeah,
Hundreds of years afterwards. Why not?
I feel like the only like
Make one about the Old Republic. I want to see that. Make
Oh my
more.
God.
Make more prequels, please.
I like the idea of these first 3 movies, like the original trilogy. It's about creating. It's about like saving the galaxy and creating a new galaxy for everyone to live in. And I feel like if you're gonna make 3 new movies, it should be about protecting what the first 3 movies built, not tearing it all down again and doing the same 3 movies over
Forget
again.
the
but
past.
worse.
Kill it if you have to, and make a bad movie.
I love when Yoda showed up in the last movie. He was like, "Yes, burn it down. Stop it.
Disrespect your surroundings.
Disrespect yours. Wake me up. Wake me up inside. I can't wake up."
Yeah. Apparently, Palpatine's gonna be back in some form.
Yeah.
This movie's gonna be bad. Probably.
It won't.
They're exploring the ruins of the Death Star, which apparently weren't blown into smithereens.
There is no way. No.
Yeah, it's in the trailer.
What?
Why
I'm
you
sick
need to
of it. I'm
explore?
tired.
Why you need to explore the Death Star?
I'm beyond upset. I'm just indifferent now. I don't even care anymore.
But yeah,
I won't watch it. You can't
Yeah.
make me.
you guys have been listening to Hair of the Dog. Be sure to tune in next week, 11 a.m. Same bat time, same bat channel. Be sure to listen to our other show, The Doghouse, which is at
Better show.
2 p.m. to 4 on Fridays.
Tune in next week for our dogfight, Persona 5 against some other game. Doesn't matter what it is, because
Xenoblade.
Persona 5 will win.
Xenoblade, probably. Anyways,
I will win.
thanks for tuning in. You've been listening to Hair of the Dog. See you guys next week.
Adios.
Adios.